I am extremely mixed. And this is from a man that loves TNA. And I wanted nothing more than this partnership. I have loved the working relationship that they've got, but there's a difference between a working relationship and a partnership. And a working relationship means it kind of goes both ways. And a partnership means it doesn't necessarily have to. And there's a worry that this kind of becomes an evolved situation and they just become the feeder. And I don't want that because when you become a feeder, you no longer want to push people for a considerable amount of time. Per se, Josh Alexander, who's had one of the best pushes over the past year and a bit, ever since Ethan Page left to go to AEW in the first place. Josh Alexander has become one of his own. Ultimately, if that had happened and they started pushing him, WWE could have gone, zoop, and out he goes. And that stops you from actually really investing in people. And instead, resulting in flash in the pan people and flash in the pan ideas rather than actually telling stories, which TNA is so good at telling stories. It doesn't get enough credit for how well it does at telling stories. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of silly bollocks in TNA. There's so much of it, so much of it, but that's sometimes some of the best stuff. And I feel like this could be where you lose what makes TNA TNA. And my worry is more for TNA than necessarily it is for wrestling, because I feel like since this working relationship has sort of happened, whatever the effects on wrestling would be, maybe like people not wanting to go to TNA or, you know, not wanting to sign here, or, you know, you're no longer getting the cross promotions as much from AEW and New Japan over to TNA because of this relationship. So I feel like we already felt the effects a little bit. But I think ultimately, I think it will probably be good. But I'm really not sure.